Hey, Maria, back with another video. It's 9:29 p.m. It is August 29th, and I am laying here in bed. I was watching some YouTube videos, just random ones popping up. I was watching everything from, I don't know, like videos on mysterious objects, and then, I watched a documentary that popped up, and just random things. I'm trying to not think about all the things that happen, and even though I feel as though I know enough, I feel as though there's still pieces that I haven't put together. And I think when you experience something like this kind of terror, you can't help but start doing that. I try not to, but that's what my life consists of, because I don't have enough to keep me occupied, I guess. So there you go. So I was thinking, how I get the feeling that there's a lot of people who don't really understand, like the people who got involved in this, they don't understand how I feel on my end, and that's what frustrates me so much, because it's very terrifying when you're getting contacted from people in different states. I mean, of course, it hasn't happened in a long time or whatever, but just the fact that other people know who you are, besides the Facebook issue, okay? Because, and I'm sure all of this exploded on Facebook, and it's been going on for a very long time, but still, I mean, I'm not the kind of person that likes to be honed in on. I just like to go about my business and live my life. So for all that attention that I experienced in the past, not so much now, but still, it was enough to create a very traumatizing effect for me. And, when I think of, the manipulation in my life from the previous employers or whatever, it bothers me, because it's like, I don't think any of them really knew who I was. Like, for example, my ex-boss in Chatsworth, I didn't really have much of a relationship with her. I mean, we started off okay when I got there, but then things quickly changed, and that wasn't anything that I did. It was just, I don't know what it was. Maybe the intrusion of my family, what made her go off on me like that. Maybe it was the fact that she didn't understand my hair, whatever, but still, I don't think it warrants this sort of intrusion, nor the harassment that I received. So you get shaken by that sort of stuff, and in the situation that it puts you in, where things are going on and people can literally affect your life in the manner that they have. You have to understand what that feels like to a person, especially when someone like myself, who doesn't know other people. I don't know people. I don't. I mean, seriously, in the last, I don't know, 20-something years, my life literally has been, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but all I do is go to work and come home. So when you find that all these conspiracies are going on around you, and all these issues are occurring, like people are manipulating this, and they're saying things about you, and it's not even remotely possible for me to actually do any of the things that people think that I'm doing, especially when my life is so beyond boring. Not that I was finding it boring. It was just, I was under a lot of stress over the last few years and didn't understand why. And now I understand, okay? But still, I mean, I was just trying to hold myself together all this time. And so, when I get this feeling that people just kind of, they don't understand what it's like to have your rights stepped on, and it's a terrible thing. And the sad part is I don't think that people take this issue seriously enough, because there's a lot of women who are in worse situations than I am. And not just women. A lot of people are in this situation, and it shouldn't happen, and that's why I get so upset about it, because it puts you in a very awkward situation, and it doesn't allow you the opportunity to plan your life or make decisions. I think that, like I said, I think my aspirations in life were very humble. I just wanted to go and find a decent job and just calm down, like have a daily routine and live my life. That's all I wanted to do. That's what most targets want to do. But then, there's some kind of agenda that's going on that you don't know about. And, of course, the gossip and everything. And it prevents you from doing that. You know, it's like, what if I had some sort of dream, for example, to, I don't know, this is far-fetched for me, okay, but because somebody one time said, you know, you should be a lawyer, or you should do something like people have suggested all kinds of things that I should have done, especially when I was a teenager. Somebody told me I should be a private investigator. I mean, all kinds of stuff, okay? But what if I had, for example, I wanted to be a lawyer, okay? That's really far-fetched for me, but still, what if I did? And then, you know, I said, you know, I want to make this particular amount of money, and I want to buy a home, and I want to do these sort of things. And then somebody is basically saying, you can't do those things. You cannot do those things because we have this already laid out for you. How would you feel if you had a daughter who wanted to do something and somebody put a situation in place for her to not do what she needed to do? Especially if she's somebody who's single, such as myself, who has to take care of them. I mean, I don't have, you know, any other option. I am it. I am the only person I have to count on. And somebody saying, you can't do that. That's crazy. You know, you can't take care of your basic needs because somebody else is deciding that for you as a 47-year-old woman. You know, that's troubling to me. What if I wanted to retire in Maryland? What if I wanted to, you know, it's just how is it that people can do these things and not even consider what you want as a person? That hurts a lot. It hurts a lot, you know? And so, not that I had any specific dream. I'm the kind of person, I could live anywhere. I could be anywhere, okay? But I have to feel like I have something to do. I'm one of those people, I would prefer to work till the day I die because I really don't like having nothing to do. I don't like it at all. As a matter of fact, I think a lot of times I know a lot of retired people, you know, they hit the retirement age and they just go downhill from there because they need something in their life to give them that energy to continue going. And I think I'm one of those people, you know what I mean? You know, there's some articles that I read a few years ago about, you know, some guy who was like, I don't know, his 90s or whatever, had the same job and walks miles from work and brings his lunch every day. And that's what his routine was. And people kept him on his job for like whatever because he was such an old part of the company that they just kept him there, you know, those kind of stories. I really see myself as being one of those kind of people. You know what I mean? Why? Because that's how I am, you know, and then people can come in and just say, oh, I don't want you to do that. That's not what I think you should be doing. You know, I don't think, you know, my former boss knew me very well. I mean, people always assume things, okay? Just because I have different talents. Okay, some talents, but some of them are more hobbies, okay? Like, for example, my art, okay? My art is fun because I like working with color, but I can't say, other than like my felt work, I can't say, and some other things that I got lucky on. Like, for example, some things came out pretty good, okay? But I would say my art is very amateur. You know what I mean? And just because I'm artistic in a certain way doesn't mean that should be gear or direct my attention to those particular things because that's not what I want to do. I remember one time my boss said something like, well, you know, you like writing, so I want you to do this. Okay, I don't mind doing professional correspondences because I think I communicate well. Okay, that is, of course, when I am feeling up to it and, you know, I'm prepared to do it. Meaning, you know, but like, you know, creative writing and preparing correspondences are two different things, okay? My point is that, you know, it's like people think, well, just because you can do this doesn't mean you want to do it all the time. Writing professional correspondences should be a daily thing for everybody, okay? If you're working in a job, you're communicating with other vendors or customers or something, you have to be able to have those skills. I mean, you should anyway, okay? But I'm saying, you know, you should, that doesn't mean that that's what you should be focusing your attention on. Or just because you like, you know, singing or dancing doesn't mean that that's what you want to make a living on. They're hobbies. Like, people have their hobbies. Like, for example, some people are great businessmen, right? But they like playing golf. Does that mean they want to be professional golfers? No, it's just their side hobby. It's the things that they do to escape. You know, like I like making clothes, you know, or refurbishing clothes for my own personal satisfaction. Do I want to get into that as a business? No. Okay? Because it would not be fun for me. it would be, it wouldn't be fun for me anymore, because people would have expectations on what I did for my free time, and that's not for other people, it's for me, you know? So when it's very terrifying when you got people involved in your life who don't know you well enough, and then they're making decisions for you. That's terrifying. You know, it's like nobody sat down with me and said, Maria, what do you want to do? And, you know, I've never really shared what I wanted to do with anybody, because I felt like, you know, in order to stay focused on what I needed to do, that's something I don't feel other people don't need to be involved in it. I just don't think so. You know what I mean? And plus, I'm the kind of person, I'm very autonomous. I like having my own goals, you know? Because I'm somebody who's by themselves. Even when I was still married, when I was married, I never felt the need to share that with... I talked to my ex-husband about it before, when all of this stuff was happening, and I kept thinking, what's going on with my work, right? But I never really discussed it with him. I'm very autonomous. I'm not the kind of person that shares my life with other people. I'm just not. You know, I think my son probably thinks there's more to me than I actually shared with him. Because my life, when I was raising my son, it was just like, you know, I would come home and I was always grumpy and moody because of the bullshit that my family was causing at work. And of course I didn't know it at the time. And, you know, I felt like, you know, these people robbed me of so much. You know, like, I would have been a better parent to my son, been more attentive to my son, if I didn't have all the heartache and the stress to worry about, you know? So it's like, now at this age that I'm in now, and I consider myself to be a fairly older woman. I'm an older woman, you know? And at this point in my life, for this to happen to me at this time of my life, it's terrifying to me. It is absolutely terrifying to me, because it's like, I feel as though this is an act of cruelty on my former boss's part, because I can't deal with something like this happening to me in my life, you know? Of course, if I was having these issues when I was raising my son, it probably would have been worse, okay? Because either way, I don't like it, okay? But I keep thinking, okay, well, you've put me in a situation where I'm constantly under stress. How can I do anything positive for myself when you're feeling like this, you know? It's a bad idea. And I'm hoping that all I can do is hope, okay? But people don't understand how serious of a problem this is. There are targeted individuals who don't deserve this. Most people are just guilty or victims of malicious gossip, which is what I have been, a victim of malicious gossip that turned out to not be true. You know what I mean? I'm sure just because the cute guy was involved in it. I had no idea that the cute guy was involved in it, which I'm glad the cute guy is involved in it. But still, I had no idea he was, okay? Why would I think that? Because why would I think that he had had anything to do with me in this situation? Because I've never heard from him in such a long time, okay? And then nobody ever